Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hey, we're like partners now.
Yes, yeah, because we got Rose too. We gotta think of a good nickname for her. I don't know. You gotta think of like this.
Baby wrestling's already taken.
So yeah, Sweet Rose is here with us tonight, or mostly every night now that we're doing it. But yeah, so today we'll be talking about Clash at the Castle, our first UK pay-per-view in a long, long time. I'm sure one of our fact checkers would know the exact time it's been, but yeah.
I kept saying 30 years.
30 years.
It was SummerSlam, I believe.
Oh, SummerSlam, okay, yeah. I know they had Insurrection and Rebellion. I don't guess those don't count, I guess. I'm not sure what the status behind that is. Welcome, Big Time. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. I know Big Time said it in our wrestling chat. Make sure you don't miss this pay-per-view. It was fun. And yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Going in, I wasn't really excited for any match. I know you and I were discussing, like, well, how should we split up the matches as we normally do? And, like, both of us were like, we don't really care for any of the matches going in, but we did see some really good wrestling. And I've kind of noticed I've been watching more Raw and SmackDown and NXTs lately, and we've seen a lot more better wrestling, like new fresh matches every week. And that could be because of the regime change we talked about last time. We're seeing a lot of great stuff and new stuff and fresh stuff. I know we're having some repeats and stuff like that, but it's been pretty interesting lately. What did you think of the pay-per-view and how wrestling's gone since we last talked?
I mean, for me, it wasn't that I wasn't excited for the matches. There were a few that I was really excited to see. We'll talk about that in a few moments. That legit had the chance to be like match of the night. But yeah, I think overall it was a really good pay-per-view. I know there were some people who were disappointed with the ending, but it is what it is. I know we'll talk about that for sure, because it was an awkward, weird ending, and I'm not even talking about the match itself.
Right. Well.
Yeah, I thought all the matches definitely had something you could look forward to if you like a wrestling pay-per-view. And I feel like this was a good weekend for wrestling in general. We had hours upon hours of wrestling to watch if you're into it. And because we had Clash of the Castle, the next day you had Worlds Collide with NXT, then you had All Out with AEW, and it's like, whoo, if you're a wrestling fan, I hope it's almost like WrestleMania weekend a little bit, but a bunch of different
brands, yeah. Yeah, Big Time actually says there were 0 squashes, even the losers look strong, and he says the match of the night was Sheamus versus Walter, and like I'm sure Delisha and I will get to that when we talk about the moments or high points of the night. But yeah, I really did enjoy that match, and sometimes people, like we were saying, sometimes the people you want to win don't always win, but entertaining nonetheless. So without further ado, let's get on. We do have to make a note that Delisha and I both, because it was Memorial Day weekend, I think we both had plans that day, so we couldn't watch it live. So unfortunately, both of us missed the pre-show match. The pre-show match being Madcap Moss teaming up with Street Profits against what did I say? It was Austin Theory and Alpha Academy, and I think Madcap Moss and Street Profits ended up winning that match. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, Big Time, because I didn't see it. Delisha did not see it either, so let us know.
But I checked the just the
okay. Yeah, so Madcap Moss and Street Profits came up on top of Austin Theory and Alpha Academy. Sorry we didn't cover it. Like I said, we were busy that weekend, so neither of us got to watch it live, as most of you guys know when we talked about it in the wrestling chat. Therefore, the first match tonight for us was actually going to be the team of Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and WWE Raw Women's Champions Bianca Belair against Damage Control, which is their name now, featuring Bayley, Io
Guy.
Skye is her name right now. Skye.
Mhm.
Io Shirai, I know her, and Dakota Kai. So Delisha, I believe you're covering this one.
Yeah, I like all the jokes that are made about calling them Sky and Ty like kind.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can remember. So yeah, we started out with I'm I'm confused on whether they're spelling control with the full name because in their they still call it a Titan drive.
Yeah.
I swear I see them spelling it CTRL, but
Yeah,
I don't think
like
control.
the keyboard button. They're spelling it like a
Yeah,
keyboard button.
so they have. I feel like they haven't really made that distinction yet. Maybe once some. Well, I haven't checked any of the shop, so maybe there's some merch out there that'll help you. Just figure it out. If not, let me know in the chat if it's legit now CTRL or if it's just spelled out control. Anywho, so yeah, there really wasn't much. I guess in much of storyline for this match is more as you guys tried to involve yourselves with Bianca and then Asuka and Bliss came up because they're somewhat of a tag team. They were in that tag team tournament, so I guess we can call them a tag team. And so they kind of had beef with Skye and Kai with that. So that was kind of just more of just the where we're going with the feud. Not much of a feud, except for just Bailey just wanting, eventually probably going for a title shot because why wouldn't she? But we started off with Bailey being serenaded as only the UK crowd can. Um, and after that, they just went off with an all-out brawl between the two teams before they got onto a triple suplex, I guess, from I'm just gonna say Bianca's team versus Bailey's team, so I'm not say all their names all the time. And then we finally kind of got into your standard like six person tag match with frequent tags going in and out to all the women to each for them to each trying to get in some of their like signature moves like Eels with her moonsaults or strong kick faces. I mean strong strong kicks to the face. Speaking of kicks, also we had Dakota Kai, who's also known as the captain of Team Kick, trying to um, no pun intended, get control of the matches for sure. But I feel like a lot of it was more of Bailey. I think she was in the ring a lot more than the other two. But eventually, but the I guess the kind of the story of the night was her kind of avoiding Bianca, or all of them avoiding Bianca because they would keep her on kind of resided to the outside. As even when Alexa or Oscar would try to tag, they were either prevent the tag or knock Bianca off the apron. Sorry, she dropped her toy, or like I said, drop her off the apron so that she could not get in. You Yeah, speaking of, like I said, but she would eventually get the hot tag and almost had the match won by giving uh Dakota Kai, I believe, sending her for the KOD, but Io was able to hop up on the apron and grab her foot to get her down, which allowed Dakota to get a striking knee strike to the I believe to her face before I think Bailey went in and hit the oh no, she let Io hit the moonsault, and then Bailey will go in and score the pin. So she's got a pin over the champion. So like I said, probably leading up to some sort of course, showdown at some point between them two, of course, because of course, why wouldn't Bailey go after the championship? But overall, I think it was a pretty standard match. I think it was a good way to get the crowd hyped up. Nothing too over the top or crazy. Like I said, it was kind of like your standard six six person tag match. So, but it wasn't bad. Not in the least.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for me, it wasn't too bad. I feel like they're just putting all these people together just so they can be on the card, right? I feel like otherwise they could have just not done this and just to feature everybody. It was entertaining. It was action packed. I had a good time watching it. It just got to the point where it's like, why do we have all these people? Like when we can having singles matches with these women, you know? It's like, why are we having like everyone just thrown into the pay per view all at once? That's why I got kind of annoyed by all this kind of stuff. But hey, it was still entertaining. I had a good time watching it. Now I'm guessing that Bailey's gonna be the new number one contender kind of thing because she has, like you said, scored a pin over um, Bianca Belair, so that's gonna be the new thing, I believe. and it's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, I love this new faction. I love seeing these girls come back, or at least Dakota Kai come back in that sense. And Shirai or Skye, whatever you want to call her, she's fun to watch. I didn't really wasn't really into her in NXT. I like kind of like when you talk about the Japanese wrestlers. I'm more of a fan of Asuka and Kairi Sane. So I don't know. Like we'll see. I guess with her how it comes out, but I feel like Alexa Bliss and Asuka are kind of like in kind of limbo, and Bailey's just helping out Dakota Sky and Shirai. Sorry, Dakota Kai and Sky. But yeah, like Big Time says, it's more to further the feud between Bailey and Bianca, which is great. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure. I'm always bad at who's on what brand, but I could have sworn like Bailey was the SmackDown Women's Champion for the longest time, right? So that's kind of like crossing brands to fight for the title. But I never know who's on what brand, so it's fine. It doesn't matter to me. It's a good fight. It's a good fight to watch. Because I think Bailey against Liv Morgan wouldn't be as interesting. Liv Morgan's not really on Bailey's level yet. She's still working her way up. Bianca Belair just like skyrocketed up to that top tier level. So that's where Bailey was in terms of the women's wrestling. So good match. I had fun. Next match was for the Intercontinental Championship, featuring the Intercontinental Champion Walter. I know his name is Gunther, but Walter against Sheamus, hometown favorite Sheamus. Alicia, I believe this is yours too.
Yeah, yeah, he's still Walter around these parts. Um, but we got a surprise within with Walter's entrance. We had formerly known as Fabian Eichner, Giovanni Vinci reuniting with Ludwig Kaiser and Walter to bring back Imperium. What I'm guessing was maybe one night only, as like a little nod for the UK crowd. They the commentaries played it up saying that they brought him back in to be a contrarian for Pete Dunne and Rich Holland, who came out with Sheamus. So that that was a way to like kind of like cover it up of why he wasn't there before or whatever. I mean, as like Walter and Ludwig have been on SmackDown these last few months. But we started off kind of where we left off. Not the past SmackDown, but the SmackDown before, where they just stood having a staring contest while the chaos went on around them between Dunn and Rich Holland and Imperium of New as they just battled it out until all the way over to the back until it was legit just a one-on-one match. And if you did not think this was not going to be a hard-hitting match, you definitely was not paying attention to these two guys. Um, within like I swear 30 seconds, Sheamus's chest was all red. I mean that's not hard to do given how pale he is, but it was a very stark contrast. Also of how hard Walter hits. Uh, like I said, immediately going after each other with the big strikes. We've gone actually okay with Walter. He pretty much was dominating pretty much for most of the match, with Sheamus just being the I'm not going to give up person in this match. When like I said, Sheamus's chest, back, arms, I think legs too, were all just uh food for fodder for Walter's chops or his kicks, or even like his jaw kicks, or even when Walter goes to the top rope and tries to do his like big slam, and Sheamus just would not give up, and giving him in retaliating with I don't know why I can never say the move Bows of the Bard that he does on the turnbuckle when he's like hitting you on the chest. I don't know why I can never say that move's name. But but probably he gave Walter everything he got, giving him the white noise and also almost winning with giving him the Celtic cross. But Walter was able to pull it off after Sheamus just could not fight anymore with the big giant lariat. And this was okay. Sorry, she wants to sit up. You got something to say? Did you like this match? You were asleep. But yeah, it was a hard hitting match. This was just like people say, big meaty men slapping meat in a hard hitting, pretty much kind of like an old school wrestling match type of way. And definitely, if you are a UK wrestling fan, this was probably your favorite match of the night. It was definitely one of mine. and I knew what we were getting, it delivered, and I think this is I think it could be a contender for a match of the night for some people. But what do you think?
Yeah, not only match of the night, maybe match of the year. We might be seeing this down the line for AfterMat Awards because, like you said, they were beat red by the end of this match. It was a solid, like, you hear a lot about Japanese strong style. Well, this is like maybe Belfast brute force. I don't know what you want to call it. Maybe trademark that on my on that.
We call it British strong stuff.
Okay, well, yeah, but mine had more mine had more alliteration. Belfast brute force. But anyway, like so yeah, so I mean like it was a beautifully wrestled. Oh, it was I want to say a beautifully wrestled match. Like it was actually a wrestled match, and a lot of strong strikes and all that. Like you said, Sheamus's chest was beat red. The nice tip of the cap at the beginning of the match with Imperium coming back, and a lot of they really cater to the you know the UK crowd. Will hit me up saying like I hope they have more UK pay-per-views in the past after the success of this and the crowd reaction. Yeah, if they're having Saudi pay-per-views, why not have two UK pay-per-views a year too? Because they really appreciate it. Like the foreign fans really appreciate this kind of stuff, and they can kind of like show off these like UK wrestlers like Gunther and Sheamus and all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun to watch. And this is the one title one title slash accolade that has kind of eluded Sheamus. So we're really behind him. So the crowd was really behind him as well. And not only that, they also were behind Walter as well because they do appreciate Walter and the success he's had in NXT UK. So it was just a fun match to watch, especially if you're a wrestling fan, especially if you're an NXT fan. You could not lose in this match. And unfortunately, Sheamus did happen to lose, but he wasn't the loser at the end of the night, end of this little segment because he did get a standing ovation for a really long time for the effort he put in for the match, and I really appreciated that. What I want to see him as the the NXT, the Intercontinental Champion eventually, yes, because that's like the one title that's limited in the WWE main roster. So I'd love to see that. But this was a great match, if not big time. I'm saying this is probably the best match of the night. I agree with him. This is probably the highlight of the night yet. We'll see though when it comes up because right now, up to this point, this is the highlight of the night for me at least because I'm a big Sheamus fan and this match did not disappoint. All right, the next match featured the SmackDown Women's Champion Liv Morgan against Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades. This was the next set of matches for her, featuring another super strong grappler who has pretty much every right to beat her in real life, just like Ronda Rousey does. But Liv Morgan is from Jersey. She's Jersey strong, down the street from me, and she is a survivor. So did she win? Let's talk about it. One note that they said before the match started was that Liv Morgan was the only person in WWE to twice pin Ronda Rousey. That's pretty cool. Right away, Baszler did what she does best, as being from the MMA background. She went for the Kirifuda clutch, her finisher. Morgan, as we know, is very resilient and evasive, so she was able to get out of it. Then I think Baszler went for like another triangle, and then she went for an armbar, and basically, it's just basically Liv Morgan getting out of all these things over and over and over throughout the match, much like her Ronda Rousey match. Just Liv Morgan getting out of all these crazy situations, once in a while getting some offense in, getting some actual submission moves in. I guess I think she put Shayna Baszler in an armbar, which Shayna didn't almost have to, but they tried to make it seem like she almost had to. Kind of like paying homage to Ronda Rousey as well. She's basically a scrappy wrestler. I don't know how much they can pull this off with her, like because going against people, it's more believable. Unfortunately, I hate to say this. It's more believable when Charlotte goes against people like, and Becky goes against people, and Asuka goes against people like Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler because they can handle their own. I don't know why Liv hasn't been built up to be like one of those formidable female wrestlers. She's more like a scrappy wrestler that claws and scratches her way to a victory. And that's what she did this match. She basically survived the entire match, put on some counters, put on some submissions, but still was able to survive despite everything Shayna Baszler threw at her until she got a double knee in, which was kind of what they called a code breaker, which sent Shayna Baszler into the ropes, into like the 619 position. And then Liv Morgan hit her finisher, the Oblivion, and got the 1-2-3 or the clean pin. So nothing really dirty this match. It's nice to see her with a clean pin, but I feel like the theme of all her matches against these like strong grapplers is that she just survives and finds a way to win at the end. It's nothing like a solid. They don't really make her look too strong. They make her look scrappy, which I don't mind, but I kind of want to see her being raised up a little bit more. Felicia, your thoughts?
I pretty much share the same sentiments. I knew that if she won, it was gonna have to be they had to make it look like a believable win, I should say. Like I said, she was more like surviving, but she was sort of like doing her best to make it look like she could hold her own with Shayna. This on the like with Big Time I said earlier, like even when the person had lost, they didn't look like a total failure. Like we got shades of the Shayna of old still in this match, so I was really glad to see that. Um, I, I mean, I was rooting for Shayna to win only because I just wanted her to really revert back to that dominant women champion that she was when she won the NXT championship. So that's what I was just hoping for. But I'm not like totally mad that she Liv won. But I was just hoping that if she had won, it would be made believable, and that's all I asked for. And I think I mean, I would say it was believable because, like you said, she was just surviving and then did as much as she could just to get out of that match. And because I'm not gonna be like a Liv hater. She's not like other the one thing about Liv is that her move set and the way that she's booked kind of leaves her in that mid card, middle of the road tier. She's not like the top tier, like your Bailey's, Bianca's, Rhea's, and things like that. So that's where I think it's people are having a hard time believing in her as champion because one, how she won it and then subsequently defended it against Ronda, but she's also going up against Ronda Rousey, so it's going to be tough either way. So they gave her a tough road, I guess, at the end of the day. And now it's interesting to see where she might go from here. I mean, all roads are leading back to Ronda just from the way that they're um, playing up her angle of her continually being suspended. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Do you think they're just gonna let's see, what do we have? I get I mean, do you think we're gonna get Ronda and Liv at Extreme Rules and they give it back to Ronda and then maybe we get Shayna um and Ronda feuding?
Okay, the only reason why Ronda would win at Extreme Rules is for Survivor Series, maybe to have Ronda versus Shayna at Survivor Series, like right? Because that's a
They're on
big
the same
four.
brand.
What?
They're on the same brand.
No, is that wrong?
No, I thought you said to have them go. Oh, you mean on the Survivor Series team?
No, no, like on the card, they'll face each other 1v1. Oh wait, now they do card versus. Oh, I forgot they do like. Well, maybe they'll change it, right? They might not do
No, they
champion.
might change it this time.
Yeah,
We still don't know.
yeah, they might. I'm just saying, if they don't do champion versus champion, if they actually do real matches, I can see for a big four them doing Shayna versus Ronda if Ronda wins. But I feel like Extreme Rules if Ronda faces Liv Morgan, the Extreme Rules is the equalizer for Liv because like someone undersized in the male that I can compare it to is like Rey Mysterio, right? But Rey Mysterio has explosive maneuvers, right? Like he can explode out of nowhere and like hit you with crazy maneuvers. Liv Morgan doesn't have the same. I'm not talking about the luchador sense, but she doesn't have anything in her arsenal that I've seen that is like explosive to help her defeat these big wrestlers, grapplers in the female sense. So it's kind of hard to see the same thing over and over. Mike, as I love much as I love Liv Morgan to be the Jersey girl. It's hard to see this. You know, like see her do the same thing over and over against these grapplers. Like I said, Extreme Rules will be an equalizer for her because she'll have a weapon and stuff. But I don't want to keep seeing this over and over. Big Time says Hunter's billing her as a contender while being champion. Start winning decisively. Okay, so that's it. That's what I've been saying. But you know, maybe they've been watching AfterMat. I don't know. Hunter has been Hunter. Call us and let us know if you've been watching AfterMat. Tweet at me. Tweet at us. See if you've been telling us, you know, all the things I've been saying over the years that should be happening. Are they going to start happening now? But yeah, if it is Ronda versus her, they'll get the the equalizer with the weapons. But I want to see, like Big Time said, I want to see her be a decisive champion, that underdog that constantly wins and not just scraps out a victory, but uses her ability because she has so much passion and she loves it that I want to see her do it and her deservedly win, not just surprisingly win. Any more things before we move on to the next match, Alicia?
Nope.
Next match featured the team of Rey Mysterio, aforementioned, and Edge against two members of Judgment Day represented by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Now, there was some like backstory going into this match that Dominic was kind of upset that Ray picked Edge as his teammate instead of himself, but they do have former tag team champions together. Uh, being Edge and Ray. Uh, they have history, and it's probably a better matchup for them than the two Mysterios. So actually, Edge came out with a mask to the ring, which is for a few minutes, which is pretty cool to see, I guess. But um, Edge, I think, wanted Damian Priest right away. They got into the ring, started going at it for a while. Edge hit some crazy. I like some of the team moves we saw in NXT as well as we saw in the women's match. A lot of these new tag team maneuvers, they've been utilizing each other like old school tag team wrestling, which I like to see. And we saw that with Edge, like throwing Rey Mysterio out onto them using a moonsault. But Priest, took it to Edge for a while. He took it to Edge. I think he even spit on him at one point. Then Edge finally lost it and hit the execution. I think Edge then actually hit a 619 on Finn Balor, and then speared Priest through the ropes. And so Edge was on fire for a long, long time. And it was for the while that I think Mysterio was trying to go for a hot tag for a while. Then when he finally got Edge in, Edge went off on everybody. But I like seeing some of that tag team wrestling and that old school tag team style of double team moves. That's what I've always liked about it. Paying homage to days of people like the Hart Foundation, Demolition, Legion of Doom, stuff like that. People that had tag team when they made a tag and they had to maneuver together before they got into the ring. I love seeing that. Eventually, Finn Balor and Damian Priest did get the upper hand for a little while, and they taunted Edge and they taunted Mysterio for a while. But Dominic did happen to prove to be the X factor in this match, as he was able to distract the referee because I think Finn Balor was about to go for a coup de grace, and then Dominic grabbed Finn Balor, which allowed his Rey Mysterio to hit a 619, and that 619, as he got hit by the 619, he flew back and turned around right into a spear, and Edge got the 1-2-3, which made, I know Big Time said that no one looked weak during the match. They didn't look weak, but I don't think Judgment Day's won a match since it became the new Judgment Day. Ever since Finn Balor's taken the lead, I don't think they've honestly won a match. So that's kind of makes them look bad, but it wasn't too bad. It was a fun match. Like I said, I love the double team maneuvers by them. I loved how strong Damian Priest looked because he's starting to grow on me a little bit. I've always loved Finn Balor. Edge is I've always loved. Mysterio, whatever, who cares? I mean, I loved him in WCW as a cruiserweight. Dominic, I can get, who cares? Ray Ripley, I like. But after the match, Dominic came in to celebrate with them for a second, and then gave a low blow to Edge, and then clotheslined his own father, causing his turn. And now that we're a few days in, we can talk about what happened on Raw. He officially joined Judgment Day. Now he's wearing like a black outfit and slicking his hair back more so than usual. And yeah, so now we have 4 members of Judgment Day, which kind of looks strong. That's cool to see, but I didn't really care much for the storyline with the Mysterios. Like I couldn't care less about it. But I like seeing Edge. Edge and Mysterio back for one night. Hopefully only for one night. It was fun to watch. Love seeing Balor. Like I said, Damian Priest is growing on me, and it's been fun. Delicious, your thoughts?
Yeah, I I like the match in and of itself as as a match like that. Um, I do think that well, like you said, Judgment Day hasn't real outside of Rhea just being Rhea. They haven't really hit their stride since kicking Edge out, which I I don't really understand. I never will understand that booking decision. I guess because he didn't like the direction that Vince is going to put it in, but so that leaves them in an awkward position now. But they need to get away from Edge. They need to get away from the Mysterios, but we're not going to hit that anytime soon, just because of Dominic's heel turn and Edge vowing to destroy them. But I think they need something. Rhea's carrying this stable on her own, just by the people more interested in Rhea and Dominic than they are in Judgment Day as a whole, which is a shame because individually they're all really great performers. Outside of Dominic, he still has a lot of work to do. But despite him, the mullet was not as offensive as it was on last Monday night because it was more slick back, and maybe being a heel would help with his mic skills a lot. Because he have a little bit more freedom in his in talking if he's given a chance to talk, and being under the tutelage of Balor, and while Priest is still new kind of WWE, he's still like a veteran of wrestling because I forget the man is almost in his 40s, but you wouldn't know it from looking at him. And Rio, just her worldly experience, he could learn a lot from them. Also, of course, is going to be tutored by his like dad and stuff. But hopefully, this could ultimately be what catapults Dominic into the next tier of his wrestling career. Because we want them all to succeed. We don't really want anyone to like fail as a wrestler. We
That's not
usually
true. I'm
okay.
not of these people. I mean, like people like
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan, Charlotte Flair, LeBron James, Ric Flair.
But I just mean like we just want to be entertained by this world wrestling soap opera that we call the WWE. But yeah, overall, pretty good match. We'll see where this goes. Hopefully they kind of wrap it up soon, and then maybe if Judgment Day doesn't actually impose on itself, there can be some actual better stories for them to make them a better, more dominant force that they're supposed to be, or they keep telling us they are, but we haven't really been shown.
Also, to that fact, I want to mention that whatever I say on AfterMat represents both of us. Just so you know, Felicia has no say. Whatever I say goes. If you follow our wrestling group chat, when I say stuff like that, Felicia wholeheartedly supports whatever I say. And even if she doesn't, it doesn't matter because what I say goes. I am like the Pharaoh, so shall it be said, so shall it be done. So, Big Time knows as well. Big Time wholeheartedly supports everything I say on this show. All right. The next match was a grudge match, Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. I believe this is Alicia's match.
Yeah. And I was not interested in this match pretty much along with a lot of people until that amazing I guess do we call it a promo or backstage segment that they did after the Raw before where Seth just went after. Well, it was all fun and games with Seth until Matt mentioned Becky being the only man in their family, which is kind of like old news now. Like that joke is kind of played out. They've already kind of done that with other people, but they're like, oh yeah, okay. But then Seth comes back with the you want to talk about family? Well, let's talk about yours. Oh right, you don't have one because your wife left you and your kids know they don't want to see you. And yeah, and as you know, you call it a man's family or their lack thereof one. It's you gotta fight. There's no wrestling match. You just gotta fight, right? So that's pretty much what the start of this match was more of a brawl between these two. And after that, kind of because uh, Steph being the master manipulator that he says that he is, he's for him he's like he's all in Riddle's head. He was dominating a lot of this match, throwing Riddle into the commentary table, giving him like the Falcon Arrow, throwing him with the superplex off I believe the top rope it was. Riddle, of course, was getting some offenses in with a fisherman buster and then getting the knee to the jaw. I don't think it has a move, it's just like a knee strike. I mean, it doesn't have a name. I think it's just a knee strike. And excuse me.
Bless you.
With one of the highlights of the match being Riddle Rollins. Jeez, maybe I should just go Steph and Matt instead of Rollins and Riddle.
Like Sheamus and Cesaro for me. I can never say it right. Sheamus and Cesaro. Both start the show.
With Rollins almost beating Riddle by hitting him with the broke Derrick, which of course that's Riddle's move. But he went then that didn't work, so he went for a pedigree for a 2 count because then that didn't work. And then once again he started ranting and raving about Riddle's family while they're in the ring. Of course, that's gonna make Riddle mad. Giving him a bunch of strikes before giving him the I don't know if this has a name for it. We're just gonna call it the Orton-esque DDT off the ropes. I don't know. Have they named that?
They said it. I forgot what they said. It was like hanging DDT, but it's not that. It's something like that though. They said it during the match though. They said it right when they did
it. Oh, gotcha. Speaking of Randy, Rollins would also try to get him with an RKO. So pretty much again, they're trying to play these mind games and trying to get into Riddle's head. And then okay, but Riddle will block that, and then again with the elbow strikes, arm strikes, and trying to get him into the. I don't know. Wait, is this mission called the Bro Mission, or did they just is it just I don't know, man.
I don't know anything about this guy.
They're trying to bro everything. But Rollins being the sniveling wrestler that he is, he would eventually hit Riddle with a stomp off the top rope, winning the match. I think it was actually, oh gosh, yeah, it was actually pretty good match for a match that I wasn't really looking forward to until that last segment. And again, they really showed the brutality without having it be like overtly brutal in the match. Like there was like no blood or like it wasn't like weapons of it was a one-on-one match. Although this match, it being that type of like animosity, you would have thought they would have done like a stipulation, like a no holds barred or street fight or something like that. But no, straight up one on one. And but again, showing the brutality within the wrestling, to show how much animosity these two have. I'm kind of hoping these two are done with that. I mean, it was a nice little feud, but I do think it's time because Rollins won decisively. So I do time it's time for them to move on to separate whatever. And well, Rollins already said he's going after Roman anyway. He said that like before even this. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bless you.
I mean, thank you. I was say we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But overall, pretty good match. They did not miss on this one for sure.
See, I kind of have like, I don't know, a different view on it because, sorry, I like Rollins. I've always liked Rollins. A Riddle, I've never liked Riddle's character. I hate that like stoner, like surfer boy character. I hate it. It worked for Rob Van Dam. I liked Rob Van Dam back in the day, but like he's like a low budget Rob Van Dam in his character sense. I don't like that stoner thing. He should have stuck to an MMA kind of thing. But I don't like his character. I hate his character. Probably the worst character in the WWE at the moment. But he's grown it on me as a wrestler. In ring, he is amazing. In ring, like I cannot deny his skills. I hate his character, but I love him in ring. So going into this match, I expected. All right, no problem. I expected this being. I expected this to be the match of the night. It didn't disappoint, but it wasn't to my standard in my eyes. This wasn't like because after seeing Sheamus and Walter, this did not live up to that. So I feel like this was a good match, but it was not the match of the night. I expected more. I felt like Cody versus Rollins was better of a match, and all that kind of stuff. But the story leading up, the packages and all that leading up to this was amazing. Both of them are amazing in the ring. It just wasn't what I expected. Excuse me, sorry, I sneezed. I had to mute myself. But yeah, so it was a good match. I'm glad Seth won decisively. I thought they would be putting up Riddle more because he's been doing very well in the ring lately. But he doesn't really have he has a character, but not a character that appeals to me, and maybe it doesn't appeal to a lot of people. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I feel like he needs to connect more with the crowd. He sells himself well in this grudge match with the whole family thing and all that. I really believed all the packages and the backstage fights and all that, but he's not selling me on as a character that I want to support through the months or the coming years. Unless he makes a character change. I mean, they should maybe try to do that with putting him with Randy Orton. He's not really growing on me that much in the character sense, but wrestling in the ring, yes, he has. So the final thing is I expected a lot better match from these two for the technicians that they are in the ring. I think Cody versus Rollins is a better match overall, but this match wasn't too bad, but it didn't love for my standards. So I thought this would be match of the night, and it was not, in my opinion, because maybe that's a testament to Walter and Sheamus because they just put on a match that for the ages. So that's pretty much it. Delicia's away, I know, for a second, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next match, which is for the undisputed WWE Universal WWE Champ. I don't even know what it's called. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship, featuring the undisputed WWE Champion, Universal Champion Roman Reigns against Drew McIntyre, which brings us back to shades of the biggest lopsided home field advantage. Hey, Delaney, welcome. Yeah, because Orton's not around. That's basically what I said. But yeah, I feel like this is the biggest home field lopsided advantage that we had since when John Cena faced CM Punk at Money in the Bank and Chicago itself, when the whole Chicago audience was behind CM Punk. But this was bigger, much even bigger still, because this was, I believe this was a soccer arena. So a soccer arena holds more than a basketball arena. So a lot of fans. I forgot that they said their final attendance was 76,000, 60,000, 70,000, whatever it was, 60,000, whatever the attendance was. You had a huge backing for Drew McIntyre, home field advantage against the head of the table, who said he's not going to come out with the Usos. He's not going to come out with Heyman. He's going to do this on his own. Did he do it on his own? We'll see. Basically, it was a lot of back and forth in the beginning. Drew McIntyre looking strong over Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns trying to collect himself most of the beginning of the match. What happened to kind of like turn the match was when Drew McIntyre had the upper hand, he took Roman Reigns to the outside, and then he got a water bottle thrown at him. And I thought, oh crap, a water bottle thrown at him. There goes the crowd being idiots. Turns out that was Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross threw a water bottle at Roman Reigns, at Drew McIntyre, which distracted him. And as Drew McIntyre went up to Karrion Kross, Roman Reigns was able to take advantage of this moment. And then from there on, he pretty much dominated. He started beating down Drew McIntyre, to the point where he grabbed the mic and said, told Carter to acknowledge him. But then right away, he was hit by a Glasgow kiss. Both of them knocked out for a little bit. Roman was able to get back up and hit a Superman punch or something, and then go for a 2 count. After the 2 count, he hit a rock bottom, which then led to a 2 count. Then he went for a Superman punch, but it was countered by a Future Shock DDT, and then Drew went for a Claymore, but Roman countered that with a Superman punch, then a spear, and Reigns went for the pin, but McIntyre kicked out. Reigns went for a second spear, but I think happened. I think Drew dodged it, and then I think Charles Robinson got Then Drew dodged it, was able to hit a Claymore on Reigns. Reigns hit the referee, and Charles Robinson fell to the outside. Then Austin Theory's music hit. Austin Theory, who was Mr. Money in the Bank, ran out to go cash in. As he's about to cash in, Tyson Fury punched Austin Theory, knocking him out, therefore not getting him to get cash in, which means I guess any of us can punch a wrestler while we're out there. Seems like that's the case. Any of us can punch a wrestler while they're out there. That's what this shows us. Anyway, after that happens, they both crawl into the ring. McIntyre goes for another Claymore, hits the Claymore, gets the 1, 2, as the new referee's going down for the 3. Someone in a hood pulls the referee out of the ring before they can hit the 3 count, knocks the referee out. The person pulls their hood down, and Solo Sikoa, who is the younger brother of the 2 Usos, distracts Roman Reigns distracts Drew McIntyre. As Drew McIntyre turns around, Roman Reigns spears Drew McIntyre, gets the 1, 2, 3, and that ends the match. And now we have a new member of the Bloodline, which we've been waiting to see for a long time, Solo Sikoa, the younger brother of the Usos, to join the Bloodline. And Roman Reigns is still your champion after 2 years of holding the 1 title. He's still champion, and it was great to see. I mean, it wasn't very consequential. I know. I think I saw Big Time's tweet saying "cut the broadcast now." I know Delisha wasn't happy when she led into the night about the weird ending. So we usually wait for the surprise ending. I'm gonna go into it now just so we can get it out of the way. Basically, after Roman Reigns leaves after winning the match, Drew McIntyre gets up to get his applause, because just much like Sheamus got his applause after the match, hometown hero Drew McIntyre gets the thing, and then Tyson Fury goes over the barricade. So I guess any fan can now go over the barricade and join the rest of the ring, which is what he does. And apparently Raj, the Road Dogg, if you know him from our shows, knew what was going to happen. He says he knew that Tyson Fury sings at the end of his matches, and he actually sang for Drew McIntyre, and that pretty much ended the night on a kind of a high note, and that was about it. For them, a high note. Really like it. But yeah, the match was fun to watch. A lot of people want to see Drew McIntyre win. I was happy that he didn't win. But it was good. It was fun. Delisha, your thoughts? I don't know if you can get back on mic or not, but thoughts?
Yeah, I thought that was a really good match. It was the hard hitting match that I thought it was gonna be between these two, and I know a lot of fans were upset that Drew didn't win, especially those in the UK. It was so funny that they were saying it was his hometown. It's like, look at a map, guys. He is from Scotland. They were in England, so it was more like his home, I guess, country of the UK, not his hometown. Anyway, that was just funny to me. Yeah, it was all good until the after part of the match, which was, like I said, it was weird. Apparently, people in the audience thought that this was just like for them. They didn't know this was actually on the live broadcast or Peacock. So it was. I mean, it was just odd that he just had this kind of like big loss because this was his chance to win the big title in front of a crowd. Because when he won his I guess was he the Universal or WWE champion? One of them.
WWE. WWE.
Yeah, he lost it. I
Talking
mean,
about Drew, right?
yeah,
Yeah, WWE.
yeah, he won it in front of a bunch of TV screens. So there. When was the next time he was going to be in front of his like the home field advantage? The next time they'll have a pay per view like this in the UK, we don't. It might be sooner than 30 years now, but so that
Okay.
was kind of I can see that point, but we're also telling a story with Roman. We don't know what the end of that story is. Some people are suggesting Cody now, but we don't know the end of the story because we're not the writers in that actual room who are writing the story, and always subject to change. But they have a course of action that they want to go through, and unfortunately, your guy wasn't it. Not you, Cal, but like
Yeah.
to the fans of Drew.
I mean, I
Not that
like
I'm not
Drew. Yeah.
yeah, not that I want to say not that I'm not a fan of Drew. I just knew kind of going in that it probably wasn't going to. I would have been surprised more if he did win than him not winning. So, but like I said, it was a good match, and uh, again, like we were saying all night, the loser didn't really feel like a loser because of how good they performed in the ring.
Yeah. So for me, when it comes down to like who's gonna beat Roman, because that's you're talking about the story of Roman now, right? Because we talked about Drew. The story of Roman. Who's gonna beat Roman? Much speculation about The Rock coming back, Royal Rumble, winning the Royal Rumble, facing um, Roman WrestleMania, which would be the one of the biggest WrestleManias since Brock and Roman Universal title versus WWE title unification match. That would be huge. The Rock shouldn't win. He doesn't need to win. Unfortunately, The Rock hasn't won many WrestleMania matches in the spotlight, the main event. He has won a few, against Austin, against Cena, Hogan, but he's lost more than he's won in the main event. Um, he doesn't need to win that match. It would be cool if he won, but he can't be around as much. Obviously. But when I said the thing about holding on Sami Zayn before Money in the Bank, if he won Money in the Bank and he's part of the bloodline thing, I will never cash in, I'll never cash in, then he'll cash in after The Rock pretty much he beats Roman down after Roman disrespects him after the match. For the camera's sake, not for after the camera's sake. I feel like Sami Zayn winning would be nice for the real wrestling fan. Austin Theory winning is good for the Vince McMahon fans, but I don't think Austin Theory should win the championship. I think he should lose the Money in the Bank match. When he cashes in, he should lose. Um, but yeah, Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross will be the next contender. We probably won't see that until Survivor. No, we can't. Well, we don't. I can't speculate for Survivor Series because maybe in Saudi he'll face him. We don't know what the setup for the Survivor Series is going to be yet, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, I think it'll be better for the WWE Universe that Roman is not champion going into matches against The Rock, giving other people opportunities to fight for the championship at WrestleMania. In my opinion. But what would be the point of The Rock winning the Royal Rumble if Roman Reigns is not the champion come WrestleMania? So it's really a toss up. You got to think about all this logically going down the line. Things can change on a daily basis with injuries and all that kind of stuff. But thinking about it logically down the line, Rock winning the Royal Rumble would be in a title match at WrestleMania against a champion of his choosing. Um, Yeah, Dwayne's not going to be in the Rumble big time because The Rock is going to be in the Rumble. So The Rock's going to be in the Rumble. The Rock's going to win the Rumble. But yeah, if Sami Zayn was the Money in the Bank winner, he would have cashed in after The Rock went to go shake. Roman beat The Rock. Rock went to go shake his hands. Good match, man. You're better than me. You're the chief. You're the tribal chief. Head of the table. And then Roman disrespecting him, causing The Rock to rock bottom him. Sami Zayn coming out, cashing in. Um, Now that it's Austin Theory, I don't see that happening anymore. But I don't know. I'm going on a tangent for a while for something that's not happening yet. But I know you just said what we're talking about. This is all about Roman Reigns' storyline. That's what I think about his storyline in the future. Alicia, any thoughts about his storyline before we move on to our final take?
But again, like you were saying, like Rock versus Roman doesn't need a title. It kind of writes itself. It could just be for the tribal chiefhood,
Right.
so to speak. Or yeah, there's lots of ways they could write that in without having to involve the title. But even though because right now Roman's identity is the title, like he's like that title feeds his family. So honestly, him losing it, I think almost kind of writes another story of him like being decimated and having to get his title back so he could, like you said, feed his family. So I think that that'd be an interesting perspective to put on it afterwards. Um, I mean, again, a lot of signs points to Cody being the one to dethrone him. Because even that in and of itself would be a good WrestleMania match. Because also when it comes to Rock, it all comes down to his schedule and if he can actually be there. And like we've mentioned it before, insurances from his manager and stuff like that to make sure he's fine to continue his busy schedule after a Mania. Yeah, and also I don't see him going into the Rumble at all because again, it'd be taking another opportunity from someone else who would actually deserve to be there. Um, and people could point to Edge, but like that's a totally different scenario than another legend or quote unquote part timer coming back to take a spot. That's something totally different. But yeah, it's still that's the biggest story of it all is who's going to be the one to beat Roman for these titles, and because right now there's not a lot of uh not like literal big guys, but like big name guys in the company right now because one they weren't built up yet, and two or they've been injured. Thinking of your Randys, your Codys, and so forth. But we do have a lot of contenders saying they want after Roman. We have Karrion Cross, we have KO, we have Sami Zayn in the mix. Um, Probably turning face in a couple of months, if not sooner than that, because of the whole KO situation and the Usos, mainly Jimmy, I think it is, who doesn't like him. He's kind of like the X factor in this whole thing, also as well. And then you do have your other kind of and yeah, we did have Braun returning last night. Sure, I do not want to see him in a championship match. It's he talked about he doesn't do anything for me. To me his peak was being in the Wyatt family. Um but yeah, I think again, as we were a year ago, we are still here on who is it that's going to take it off of him. And honestly, I'm just going to enjoy the ride until it happens. And then we can all be like, oh man, either it'll be like, oh man, we saw this coming, or oh man, didn't see that coming. Um, but yeah, it's like for me, you know me, if we tell a good story, I'm all for it. Because I
So
don't think they're just keeping on him for keeping it on stakes. I think there is something that they're trying to write out, whether they're waiting for someone to come back, whether from injury or from a actual return back to the company, or that like I do think because of who's in charge now, there is an actual full on written out Kevin Feige whiteboard plan on in going on in the creative room.
welcome Slater, just showing saying all that was better. No, it was not. Nothing happened
That's
all
like
out except for
he
the.
didn't go out, and I can tell you it wasn't better. just for, no, I'm just kidding.
All right,
That's
so
not because.
the last point on this is now Triple H just called me. I just got off the phone with Triple H, and he asked me what should we do. So I told him here's what my idea what it's gonna be, and we'll probably see this happen. Maybe Cody comes out and Royal Rumble at number 27. Fans are excited. yes, he's gonna win the Royal Rumble. He's gonna go on to face Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship, or whatever you want to call the championship, right? That's another thing about this, right? Usually when one of them wins a Royal Rumble, they get to pick one champion, right? And then like whoever wins the elimination champion gets the other champion, sort of. That's how it's been, right? But nobody likes him. Nobody likes Braun Strowman. Um, except for the Wyatt family. That's what's cool. Anyway,
Yeah,
Rollins will come. Not Rollins. What did I say? Cody Rhodes will come back number 27. Runs. Yes, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's gonna win the Royal Rumble. He's gonna go ahead and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But at number 30, it will be like, if you smell, and The Rock's gonna come out, throw him out. Everyone's gonna be pissed that The Rock won. Like the Marks are gonna be mad that Rock won. Real fans will understand that. Yes, The Rock won. He'll choose to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But in between, we'll have Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes will win the Elimination Chamber, much like Kofi Kingston, right? Like Kofi Kingston didn't win, but he put up a hell of a fight, right? So we're gonna see that, and but except in this case, Seth Rollins will win the Elimination Chamber. Not Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes will win the Elimination Chamber, giving him the number one contendership to the other championship, because there's the Universal Championship and there's WWE Championship. So it'll be a triple. What could be better than a triple threat match featuring Roman Reigns as a champion, The Rock, and Cody Rhodes, coming on top, beating both Roman Reigns and The Rock for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes coming up on top that night. What could be better than that? Now, believe that if you smell what The Rock is cooking. And I don't know any of Cody Rhodes' statements, but I'd put that in there too. It's not a nightmare. It's an American dream. There you go. Through all of their taglines. But yeah, that's what I see happening. Triple H just called me. That's what I told him. You heard it here first. So that's what's going to happen. Get ready for it. All right. Final takes with our finishers. Delisha, your low point, your high point, your overall grade.
I just for the sake of like matches and stuff, I think I am just gonna give the low point to the 6-woman tag match, mainly because it was just my least favorite match I think on the card as far as me being invested. High point. I just didn't really want to give it away earlier when I was talking about, but it really was the Gunther and Walter match that was really like my legit favorite match of the night. And overall, great. I think I'm just gonna give it an A minus. Solid card from um beginning to end. All and like we said throughout this whole podcast, everyone kind of brought it in this pay per view, and they were produced very well, and I was excited to watch, even though I didn't get to watch live, like even watch on the replay. Sometimes like if you're watching on the replay, you might like fast forward stuff like that. I didn't. I watched the whole thing through and through.
Roman Reigns ever faced The Rock? Like, not that I remember. Not that I remember.
Fast and Furious doesn't count, even though
Yeah.
they don't even think they each other.
They teamed up. They teamed up. Yeah, and he says that Braun's gonna face him and win, and that's not what they brought. If they did that, the WWE Universe will riot.
I will riot.
Yeah.
I will legit riot. Probably only here in my living room, but I will riot nonetheless.
The low point for me was, I think, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but the Liv Morgan thing. I hate seeing her like. I understand the seeing her as scrappy, but like I hate seeing her like just like getting to dominate the entire match and pulling out. I want to see her actually be like a true champion and win them. A high point for me, I agree with you. Walter versus Sheamus. That was a hard hitting, really hard fought match. I'm glad to see Sheamus got an ovation afterwards. That was great for me. One of the best moments of the night for me. So I enjoyed that. Overall grade probably B plus, A minus, just like you were saying. I really had a fun night. It was a fun night. I really enjoyed it. Solo Sikoa joined the Bloodline. Waiting for that. Waiting for Naomi to join the Bloodline as well. But overall, it's been fun. And we're enjoying wrestling. Like we said, we had a good weekend with NXT as well. Great matches. That EW, we had some. We don't really talk about that, but we had some fun watching that as well. Young Bucks are always fun to watch. Other than that, nothing much really stuck out for me. It was just way too long. Multiple times over the course of the night. But
I am glad we are not an AEW pay per view.
Yeah, we're still talking about the third, fourth match of the night. But yeah, MJF coming back was pretty cool too. I was wanting to see him in WWE, but well, whatever. We'll wait. But yeah, other than that, it was a good night. A minus, B plus, just like you. Delisha, where can we see you? And any other news to
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at DeliciaReneeTV. I did post a video the other week about transitioning over my baby from into solid foods now. And if you don't know, it's more of a lifestyle channel for me, especially now being a first time mom, sharing my adventures with that. I do have a video that I believe if I can get it uploaded, I've been having issues with YouTube sometimes. Get it uploaded, there will be a video up tomorrow morning. If not, I'm gonna try to get it done by the time I get off work tomorrow. So sometime tomorrow, just um, stay tuned to my Instagram or just go to my YouTube channel. There will be a video up because I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with that, even if it's just like a short video at sometimes.
Yeah, and you can always find all her information down below in the description. And I know Road Dog, Raj and I have been trying to get out to see Delisha and the baby. But with our schedules and all this, I'm actually super busy throughout September and October, which is unfortunate. I don't know if it's unfortunate or fortunate. I have a lot of family stuff, weddings and such, and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully we can go out and see, and maybe Delisha will post a YouTube or Instagram video featuring us visiting Rose for the first time, trying to get planned out. So make sure you stay tuned to her stuff. As for us here on AfterMat, I probably won't be doing any. Well, as for here us on the channel, but I won't be doing any gaming stuff yet for a while. If I find a game I would want to stream for you guys, or a Genshin, which summon session like the one I just did recently. I won't be doing anything like that until then. But the next time you see us on AfterMat, it's for Extreme Rules, which is on Saturday, October 8th, Philadelphia, and then after that will be that Monday following 10/10. Make sure you stick around for that. Until then, keep slamming the haters and be the champion of your dreams. We'll see you next time.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun.